What did I do?
You know what I'm talking about. Turning the TV on and putting Chucky in front of it when I told you it was time to go to bed.
I didn't do that.
Oh, no? What did Chucky do? Walk into the living room and turn it on all by himself?
Did you do that, Chucky?
Andy, stop it. Now, come on, under the covers. Hurry.
Say something, damn it!
This is Film Sack.
Damn it.
Oh, sure.
Hello, and welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind. This is episode 624, and this is our second to last week of Sacktober 2023. I'm Scott Johnson, joined today by Brian. He just had some alone at... What? He just had... Oh, I screwed up. I wrote this wrong. He just had some alone... Shit. For reset. He's just had some alone time at Night Willie's. I don't know what that means. Done away.
I didn't. Oh, that's from Aunt Maggie. She said that on the phone.
Oh, you got the Night Willies.
The Squealies.
Yeah,
It's a case of the Night Willies. Oh, hi.
Hi.
This week on Film Sack. Hey, what was that? This week on Film Sack, here goes again. This week on Film Sack. Aha! Nothing. Okay. This week on Film Sack, we find it mere child's play to call upon our misappropriated big city voodoo magic while dying after getting shot, so it's to transfer our souls into the creepy toy doll of HBO Max for a jump scare good time when we put on our footy pajamas and snuggle up under the blankets with a half tub of butter and a bowl of diabetes flakes to watch this revenge horror film from 1988. Rated R for really? Your doll killed Aunt Maggie? Really? I don't believe you. Driver's side under the seat, crotch stab. Yeah. Hallelujah. I'm a believer. Anywho, I recently ordered a few birthday presents from backalleypeddlercart.com, a.k.a. Timu, where the refund policy may or may not involve attempted rape by a mouthful of bad teeth. So, let's see what I got. Oh, it's a slightly shot-up Lakeshore strangler figurine with tiny hands and a gun. How off-brand for a strangler. Speaking of off-brand, what else we got? A box of disappointment. It's the 1980s era boys' toys toolbox with a real effing hammer to weaponize the fatherless kid who asked for something else entirely. But Grandma is on a fixed income, so she got this instead. Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah.
No, really. Love you and miss you, Grandma. Oh, and finally, it's an easy-to-reach box of matches to burn all this shit. I said no refund. Randy? Let's play hooky from school and sneak off for a train ride to the bad side of town where we can pee in the snow and take revenge. Chucky! Chucky!
Oh, that guy peeing. I gotta talk about him. All right. Nicely done. Also with us, Randy. Don't shortchange the peddler, Jordan.
Aloha, Scott. Brian. All right, listen up, men. We have a new serial killer on the loose, and it looks like it's a little kid. I know. This one is weird, but it looks like the serial killer is a small child, and we've got to do something before more lives are lost too. It says here the Second Greater Blood Crusade. I don't know. As I said, the name's a work in progress. The name's a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. We have the kid in custody, and hold on. Yeah. Damn it. I've just been told that the kid killed a cop. Okay.
Oh, man.
We need to assume that there's a malevolent spirit in play here, and you're all going to do just fine as long as you follow these 3 rules. Number 1, don't believe in this malevolent spirit theory until it's literally killing you. And even then, probably still don't believe in it. Number 2, we're sending only men on this case since it involves an unmarried straight woman, and we have a policy of enabling crisis love stories if possible. I know it probably won't happen, but you have to shoot your shot. Number 3, If you find yourself in a jujitsu match with a small inanimate object that is suddenly and miraculously animated, you are required to do the dumbest thing you can think of at the time. If it has a knife, you turn your back on it. If it's been killed and returned to life several times, you assume this time it won't do that. You're now officially the stupidest cops that ever lived. Now get out there and die meaninglessly without an explanation that anyone will ever believe.
Officer Big Lips. That's who you're referring to there.
Wow. Yeah.
He had some weird lips. Also the voice of Jack Skellington for some reason. Anyway.
So yeah, Prince Humperdinck.
Oh, yeah, right. That guy's a weird career. Anyway, hey, it's also finally Brian stabby through the back seedy ibit.
Oh, that's a long ass knife. All right, so this will be interesting because I get to listen to this somewhat for the first time, like you guys, because Wednesday I had my COVID and flu shot, and so Thursday had kind of an 8-hour 100-degree fever, and completely wrote and recorded this during my fever dream. So I can't wait to hear what I did along with you guys for the first time ever. Okay, here we go.
Excellent.
Okay.
When we were young, just 8 years old, there were certain playthings that would hurt children any way they could. From potential choking hazards to dolls that would eat hair to easy bake ovens that would set fire to whatever kids put in there. But it was well known that good guys were the worst of these, with their voice chips that would say Heidi ho as they lashed out within inches of your eyes. We don't need no talking Tina.
And I'm beginning to hate you.
We don't need no Annabelle. No Megan, okay, she's a malfunctioning robot. Chucky, leave that kid alone. Chucky, leave that kid alone. All in all, you're just another prick in a doll. All in all, you're just another prick in a doll. Yeah, it's a lot of setup just to get to that joke.
Right.
We don't need no C batteries. We don't need no string to pull. Just incantations in the toy store. Chucky, leave that kid alone. Hey, Chucky, leave that kid alone. All in all, you're just another prick in a doll. All in all, you're just another prick in a doll.
I have the guitar part memorized.
Yeah.
So what are the chances you would use this song? And yesterday I just listened to the entirety of The Wall. That makes no
Did you
sense.
really?
That's
Oh,
crazy.
weird. Wow, what
I
time?
listened to it about a week ago.
Yeah, that's crazy timing, man. Didn't expect that. That was great.
I'm not listening to it again until I can get the vinyl.
Another prick in the ball or the doll. Sorry.
Another
Hey,
prick in a doll. Yeah.
that movie we're talking about is Child's Play. Yes, the 1988 doll comes to life and tries to kill everybody. Original, the one that started it all. We'd seen 2, but not 1. And now we've seen 1 from director and Spider-Man Tom Holland. different Tom Holland, I guess. Obviously,
Not the
this is
same.
one. This is one that was. This dude is born in the 40s, so I don't think that's him. Anyway, written by him plus John Lafayette, Don Mancini, and starring Catherine Hicks, Chris Sanderson, our Big Lips cop, and Alex Vincent, our kid. They don't say it here, but Brad Dourif, of course, very important as your Chucky voice, and
Hugely important.
And still going as that character, like all these years later, 25 years, 35 years later, 35 years later.
35
he's still
years
Chucky.
later. Yep.
And it's still in every iteration of this.
I think so.
I like the things on TV, the TV series thing too. Is that true?
Yeah,
too?
that's what I was
don't know.
referring to. I don't know if he's been in every iteration all along the way, but
I think he has. I think that's one. I think that's true, but I'm not. Count me on that. I'm not sure. But he's great, man. We love him. He's freaking worm tongue. He's telling the king a bunch of shit that isn't true and stuff like that. He's great.
That's right.
He's the Deadwood Doctor. He's all those things. And in this thing, he's a voice mostly, but we do get him at the top of the movie. This might have been the only one where he's in it. You know.
Yeah. He's a strangler running away with a gun. I was like, he didn't strangle anybody in this movie. I thought that was kind of ironic that he was the strangler, and his hands were too small after this. All I could do was bite. He was the South Side biter, I suppose. Now I don't know exactly.
That's true.
What he
He had a
transferred to.
voodoo friend. He had
who was very pissed. I was like, I couldn't remember if I'm like, oh, how did he get these voodoo powers? And I'm like, oh yeah, the voodoo from the big city. That guy, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's
Right.
great.
Yes.
He's
Big
great.
City Voodoo. It is funny how they have to take a long time to finally explain like how this 2-bit robber knows these, incantations to transfer his soul into the doll.
Yeah.
I just you just got right to my favorite thing in the whole movie, which was when Chucky performs sort of like reverse voodoo leg breaking. Like it just like I don't know why, but I just thought it was so clever that he knew how to grab a doll of the voodoo guy and then manipulate it to make the voodoo guy like fall apart. Like just it was
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't never tell anybody where you keep your secret voodoo doll, I believe is what he specifically said.
Yes.
Oh.
That's the message of the whole movie.
That's what we're supposed to walk
That's
away
the
with.
number one rule of voodoo.
Yeah. Yeah, hoodoo. Hey, check this out.
If you're going to make a voodoo doll of yourself, put it somewhere.
Put it where nobody can get it. Hide it with your porn
exactly.
stash or whatever.
Yeah.
Fake Fletcher would like to have a word and explain the film in some small words. So we'll let him have his way. Here you go, Fake Fletcher.
Child's play. A struggling single mother unknowingly gifts her son a doll imbued with a serial killer's consciousness. It's full of all kinds of movie bullshit. And you're a real doll for hanging out with us today.
What happened?
It tried to
you put some commas and some dots in there.
All I put in there was he, like HEHE.
Oh,
Really?
Okay.
And what it made out of that, I'll play it again. It makes no sense.
Oh, I love that.
Horrible.
This
That's
is
almost
all AI
scarier
will
than the
laugh
movie.
in the
Yeah,
future.
it's very weird. But yeah, there you go.
Wait. You just said it. Was the movie scary?
No.
This
No.
is the thing that I really want to get to about this movie because my memories of it, I was a kid, so my memories of it are based on other people's reactions at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I remember people being scared out of their minds.
Oh yeah, there were people.
Is this scary?
We've heard from people before this episode say this movie scared the shit out of me as a kid. I can't wait for you guys to sack it. I haven't been able to watch it for all these years. I think the lesson is if you're a kid, yeah, it was scary. But
I guess so.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
that would have
think
to be
so.
the criteria because, man, it's as
I think
scary.
it's
To me,
kinda
it's
like
as scary as like, oh, God, you think? I think not as scary
I think
as
it's like clowns because no. I think, well, that's the thing. I'm saying that some people are terrified of clowns. Other people find them like, what the hell ever. Same with dolls. Dolls are scarier for
Maybe.
some people.
Yeah.
Not scary for other
me,
people.
it's just like, oh, there's
an
a
entire
puppet.
room at the Zach Bagans House of Curiosities in Vegas that is nothing but dolls. And when you're in a room full of that many dolls, it does get freaking
You're
scary.
outnumbered.
Yeah.
You're outnumbered at that
Supposedly
point. Don't
the
like it.
Annabelle doll is it's in a different room at that place, but it's also
Right.
there at that place.
Yeah.
But no, for me this was like a Freddy Krueger movie. It was comedy with a little tiny bit of horror and a lot of gore. Creep Show, Tales from the Crypt, the movies, not the TV show. Although the TV show has that kind of same tongue-in-cheek humor.
Yeah.
So it didn't. Yeah.
I think where they made a mistake here, though, is
I
there
think
wasn't
these are-
enough gore. Like, if you want me to be scared, the doll's never going to do it. If you want me to be disturbed, nothing in this movie really disturbs me. So the only other third thing you could do is make the kills more gory, and they really weren't that gory. It was just kind of like,
Yeah.
I think where the scare is in this movie and other movies like it, like Freddy Krueger, it's not that it's scary while you're watching it. Actually, they encourage you to kind of take it lightly. But then it's the kind of story and idea that sits with you. And as you slowly start to fall asleep, you start thinking about Freddy Krueger, and suddenly it becomes very real. Same with Chucky. It's like, what the fuck was that noise? Excuse my language. What was that noise? I said that. Sorry, you got to bleep
There
that.
there goes our family friendly tag.
It was
That's
an
what I
R-rated
say at
movie, right?
nighttime.
Yes.
Right. That's what I say when I'm by myself. I don't say, "Oh, what was that noise?" I dropped that
Yeah,
bomb.
of course. You were fully in character. You were going method.
Right. Apologies.
The thing with this though is that what disappointed me, and I had a good time. I knew what to expect going in, and I got that, and I'm satisfied with it. But the thing that I feel like is a missed opportunity, the thing that they really should have done is take advantage of what Chucky can do because he's a doll. Freddy Krueger does all these really cool dream things because he has the ability to travel in your dream, so he can kind of do whatever he wanted. He did whatever he wanted in those first movies, and that's what kind of made those clever and cool and a little bit scarier. Chucky could have ripped one of his arms off and then hid the arm someplace to attack somebody, and then sewed his arm back on in a later scene or something. Do some things that only a doll would be able to do.
That's a great point, because what he did instead was, let's do stuff a super powered toddler would do, and it's not the same.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good point, but I don't think it would fit in with this particular story. That's the reason why I think the Chucky series is a lot of fun to explore, because you can do stuff like that. Because even at this point, the Brad Dourif character doesn't understand that he's not, that he's like not immortal. He's starting to turn human. They kind of reveal that about halfway through. So I don't think, he indicates that tearing off stuff hurts like hell. Don't do that. So I think you could explore that idea. But in this one,
well, sort of. Those rules were all over the place, because at one point he was like, I don't feel any pain. Do whatever you want to me. And then he got his hand done to, I can't remember what happened, and he was he burned his face with the cigarette lighter.
I would have loved to see with him going.
Yeah.
I would love to see him outlining his plan to rip his arm off, and then screams for 30 minutes because he didn't realize
because it hurt so bad.
The scene where he's in the fireplace. Yeah, where he's in the fireplace may as well have been 30 minutes of him screaming. Like, it was.
Yeah.
They really went to town on the screaming Chucky.
Oh yeah,
that scene.
They were like, Mr. Dourif, could you please? We need an 800th take of you screaming bloody murder, and he was happy to oblige. But yeah, I'm with Ibit on this. Like, just do some stuff that only a doll could ever do, and then you really lean into the theme. And I don't know, maybe future movies did it. 2 was pretty bad, my memory, if memory serves.
See, I'm recalling 2 very fondly right now. So, here's the thing: they try to make a good movie, and they largely succeed. There's some great cinematography in this movie. I felt like the acting was on point. It wasn't bad enough that I was taken out of the movie thinking about how bad the acting was. And I felt like the script had really been worked on. It wasn't like thrown together. This felt like something that was quite mature. Like that someone had really thought about every little word and phrase. I just like you can't help it. All hinges on a doll being vicious. And that's the part where it kind of doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with Randy 100%, because I kept thinking about the action. I'm like, oh, this is really good acting. I was like, take your foot off the pedal on the good part. Maybe genuine. I felt like the actors and actresses got it. They was like, oh, this is how someone would really react. With this kind of stuff. So
I mean,
that felt good.
Some of it, sure. I think the lady drove me crazy, and I'll tell you why. And I figured it out about 10 minutes in.
Catherine Hicks.
Yeah, this is why she drove me crazy. Catherine Hicks, the actress, fine, whatever. But
a true Karen in the movie.
Her name is Karen. She was she was the lady in Star Trek 4 that drove me.
Girlfriend,
drove me up a tree in that movie. Drove me crazy.
Because she was the whale expert, right?
Yes, and she drove me nuts.
Wellspurt.
Like
Wellspurt.
From the first time in 1984 in movie theaters on a date when I saw that with a girl, I still have memories of how annoying that woman was in that movie for me. And so when I see her in this, I just immediately go, "Oh, it's her again."
Really?
It's her.
That's funny.
Yeah.
She didn't bother me in that.
Yeah, I
this.
actually thought she was like a high point of this film.
Oh, when we get to Star Trek 4, which we will, it's on our list.
I know. It feels like the only one we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
The original.
We'll
Yeah.
get there, and I think you guys will be a little shocked at how hard she's very hard to watch in that. I think.
Now, just keep in mind, I like this movie, so you think I'm still going to be shocked?
Well, look,
Any
I
of you
don't.
Seventh Heaven watchers, by the way.
No,
when
but I heard
Yeah,
she was
forgot
in
about
that.
that.
What'd she do in there? She was somebody's mom or something. What's her
I
deal?
think she was main
the-
character mom. I never
She
saw
was
it
the
either. It was a
mom.
little too
I watched
little
some
too
of
much
it,
for me,
not a
but
lot.
Yeah,
a little too wholesome.
sure. She's mostly
Whatever, Love Boat.
Yeah. Well, that's because he was stuck at his grandparents. You know, you have to.
Listen, Doc was getting it on with everybody. There was nothing wholesome about the Love Boat.
That's true. They had some dark shit going on in the Love Boat. You just
They
didn't,
really did.
just didn't recognize it as a kid. But she is known for Star Trek 4 Voyage Home, Child's Play, Seventh Heaven, and Peggy Sue Got Married. She played Carol Heath.
Oh, we have not seen Peggy Sue Got Married.
I-
On film site. We need to watch that.
Don't know if we need to. I don't know if that's the thing we need.
I think we should.
Do you? Do you really? Because
I think Randy agrees. I don't know what he's doing.
I
but I think he
100%
agrees.
agree. I
Okay.
100%
Yeah.
agree.
All right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no, but I'm not sure I'd
It's
say
a thing
yes.
that I thought, again, it's one of those in the list that I thought we'd already done for Film Sack. So to hear you say that we haven't done yet surprises me.
Wow. Yeah.
Scott would not say no like you would if you were talking to asking questions of a
Yes,
street
right.
vagabond. And
Yeah, that guy
Oh,
didn't
by the
know.
way, there's only I don't know what the hell they're talking about. There's only bad side of town in this movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no good side of town to be in.
Yeah.
Did he have a name? What was his name in the? What was his character's name? Was it? I'm trying to find the actors. What I'm trying to do.
Street McGee.
Street
Oh,
McGee.
the
peddler.
rapist person experiencing homelessness. The only person experiencing homelessness with bad teeth in a shopping cart.
Yeah,
I love it.
making like
Juan
double. the,
Ramirez, I believe.
okay, that's the
Yeah,
guy.
Okay.
That looks like it's right.
His
I-
teeth made me think that his breath was real bad. That's all.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. He like
Is he what
early
grossed you out the
meth.
most?
Yeah, he kind of grossed me out. Nothing else was gross. Like the movie was
It
kind of.
really wasn't.
I didn't even
yeah.
write one down. I think I put like maybe a runner up.
It wasn't that half a tub of butter on toast.
Oh, God.
All right.
So
Country Crock, man. That's not even butter.
Right.
It's Country Crock.
It's not even
Yeah.
butter.
Yeah. What is Country Crock? Is that margarine?
It's like it's a margarine.
butter
It's a
product.
butter substitute that is, I think, saltier or something. I remember getting and I was like, oh, I like this better than butter. And I probably would, given the chance, I probably would have eaten it by the spoonful as a kid.
if it was what
Right.
grossed out Scott the most, it's going to be one of the most basic that we've ever done, because like there's that sequence goes on, and like the kids walking across the apartment, spilling milk in a trail, you know,
Yeah.
and orange juice
And
and,
orange
everything.
juice. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was pretty gross for being just a simple spill.
You know what? You guys are
But
right.
for a kid who can escape school, find a subway, make his way onto the right subway line, all that stuff, to not be able to like simply butter toast feels like
Right.
Yeah,
He's responsible enough to go pee before they go take their revenge. I mean, come
Yeah,
on,
they
this guy's-
with him. They started him out as like, hey, he's a kid in every way. He's a 6-year-old who doesn't know how to put cereal in a bowl and not spill milk 400 times as he's trying to do it. Like they really established that. And then later, you're right. He's like MacGyver
like
out there.
navigating the city. Like he all of a sudden he's Magellan.
He's in the
Chicago,
worst part
right?
of town in Chicago, off the L
Let me-
train or whatever the hell. Like that was just
Right.
insane to me.
I do love it. This is late 80s, but I do. One of the things that just enamors me with 80s movies is kids that act like adults. I mean, I know we were kind of going through a thing where we were having latchkey kids, and so a lot of us kids could relate to, having a huge amount
Sure.
of responsibility for ourselves and the house and everything else for that matter. And I just really appreciate movies looking back and going, man, these kids are really, hitting way above their batting average or something. It's just it's interesting. I don't feel like you
I
see
would
that
like-
as much.
I would like to believe that I would have been that incompetent at that age. Like,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I remember being kind of forced outside to do whatever.
Yeah.
It was
Kind
it
of
was-
forced or really forced?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to really say now that I have my own kid and like I see it from my parents' perspective,
Mhm.
But
Right.
I think I I would have been able to navigate the city a lot better than I would have been able to make toast. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay.
But could you navigate the city with a doll that is the size of you?
I can't decide what that doll weighed. The entire movie,
right.
the weight of the doll kept changing.
Yeah, it changed a lot.
Right.
When it was a kid,
D-cell batteries.
when it was a kid and not a animatronic anything, that was when it was most effective for me because there were points of action where it needed to roll out of the way or grab a knife and run. Like some of that stuff looked kind of cool when there was a person in there. I guess it only is a problem because the other times are kind of stiff and puppety, and now they don't look good together. I don't know. This is a hard movie to make, especially if you want people to take it seriously.
Right.
Like I even wrote one of my notes is my third note on here is how can anyone take this doll seriously is what I wrote, and I think my brain is like I don't know, man. You want to be scary, it just isn't doing it. It's not scaring me.
It's classic horror trope, of that no one believes me. No one believes me, and they just
that goes on for so long that if it's good for a little while, but then and then they reuse it, right? They reuse it when the mom then sees Chucky operating without batteries.
Basically, every adult that comes.
Oh God, that's true. Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's right.
Because the 5 phases of I don't believe it.
Humperdinck has to do it with his colleague.
Even at the very end of the movie, and I actually thought this was the most brilliant way to end it. The other cop says something like, how the hell are we going to explain this? We don't have anything. We got nothing.
Yeah. And the second movie should open up with all of them in some sort of mental facility holding cell.
Right.
Yep, that would work for sure.
That was kind of brutal too when we see Andy in that holding cell at the insane asylum. I'm like, shite.
Yeah.
I'm like they put him in a real facility, not like a child's facility.
And by the way, that guy, that doctor that was taking care of him, looks like Jason Robards and Gary Busey had a baby.
I've seen him in so many places. That's Jack Colvin. He was TV guy, right? That's what we're talking about.
But he's got so Busey's mouth, like Busey's teeth and mouth.
He does the teeth.
I thought it was Robards at first. I was like, "Whoa, what is he doing here?"
The rest of his head is Robards.
Well, that's the reporter who's always chasing down Bruce Banner.
Oh, it is, isn't it? It's the don't like me when I'm angry guy. Boy, he used to be a little skinnier, wiry dude back in the Incredible Hulk days.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right,
Jack Colvin, huh?
Weird.
Wow.
All right, I did not recognize that. I knew he looked familiar though. I was like, wait a minute, I know this guy. And then I never bothered to really.
Usually, because you only see him over your shoulder as you're leaving out of town.
As you're walking away to the sad Hulk music.
Yeah. The biggest problem. I have a scientific problem with this doll, and the mass of the doll doesn't change. So it is whatever the mass of that doll is. I don't know what it weighs. I don't know how dense it is.
A lot.
But whatever it is, that would change a lot because there are parts where it was just like throw it like a sock, no big deal. And then there were times where it is literally overpowering people with its weight on top of them.
Well,
sometimes it's stuffing. It's the supernatural hand wavy.
Yeah, and that's annoying.
Human. He's becoming human though. I mean, it's kind of consistent how his weight increases over time as he becomes flesh and blood.
Yeah, but the only thing that was flesh and blood by the end was his heart. So I don't know.
He was bleeding from other places too when he got shot.
According to Tom Holland, the creator of this thing, he is becoming a flesh and blood creature as the film goes on.
Okay.
And thus the doll is supposed to be getting heavier, which explains how it has been able to generate a little more momentum or whatever. The problem for me is one of the first things the doll does is knock someone through a window or whatever. And it's like, no, it's not. It's so really lightweight at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to watch that scene again because I was like, okay, that's where he has that hammer, right? So he just kind of runs at her and she kind of like falls back. But I was already having trouble with that anyway because I'm like, who has an apartment window at that height and the window is fragile as freaking fly paper? He just
that was nothing. Is that supposed to all be San Francisco or something? It looked like it. I know we're in Chicago, but the way those housing
that house looked like a San Francisco I
thought it looked real Chicago-y.
Really? Maybe those two styles overlap. I just always think of that Chicago what's that bay window kind of style with the
not brownstone, but
I don't know what that's called.
I know that like a turret kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. And they have the other one, the place where the guy gets or the whole place blows up. It's another dude, his bucket list that he's checking off. That also reminded me of that. So there were a couple of times I was like, "Are we?"
That one felt super Chicago to me because I feel like William H. Macy must have spent a lot of time there when they filmed Shameless.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's actually a pretty good call. It was,
Eddie.
that was actually a really cool explosion. I want to give the movie a little credit for some pyrotechnics here.
A couple of nice explosions.
Yeah. That one in particular was like, whoa, my gosh, they really did blow some shit up. That wasn't just a model,
Yeah.
Was this our first? Like, I was trying to think. Was this our first? I mean, we've seen a lot of like puppets come to life, but was this our first toy doll come to life kind of movie?
Small Soldiers we watched, right?
Yeah, that was later.
No, I meant like in the history of filmmaking.
It's not on Film Sec, but on
right.
In general,
I mean,
like,
Taki Tina
were we shredding stuff?
in Twilight Zone. That was the first thing I remember.
Oh yeah, that might be the OG there. I mean, it's got to be an old common thing because I remember as a kid I had this clown doll, and a doll and a clown together. What the hell was I thinking as a kid? But anyway, I had that thing, and it would sit on this. My mom would keep it on this rocking chair that was always in view of my bed. And when the door was shut and the lights were out, and it was nighttime, and it was even worse because I had a night light that would cast weird light on it. And
oh God!
I think this is a kid. It's just a kid.
Are
thing.
you sure you're just not thinking of Poltergeist?
It's almost exactly like that. It's almost exactly like
the
that.
Poltergeist. The clown doesn't get up and run around, right? It's just. Was
it a clown in Poltergeist?
Don't we hear it go like it's in? Where did we hear it?
Yeah,
a toy running around in a bedroom where the kid couldn't see it because then he looked over and the clown was gone. Looked under the bed, it wasn't there. Came up and that's when it wraps its arms. That was the first time I ever remember seeing that like decoy or subterfuge where it's like, all right, it's gotta be under the bed. Oh, it's not there. Oh, okay. And you relax and he comes up and that's when the clown gets him. And they use it like it's such a trope now with usually it's the medicine cabinet, right? They like open the medicine cabinet slowly. And then as soon as they close it, the person is right behind him in the mirror or behind the door or something like that.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever remember seeing that was with that stupid clown. It made me, I had to leave and go to the bathroom.
Is that him? Is that him there?
If I didn't, I was going to pee.
Because if I didn't, I was going to pee in my seat.
Is that him? I just put in our Discord. Is that him? Right
there you go. That's it. Maybe it does get up moved, but not
so
like
the earliest I can find is an Anthony Hopkins film called Magic from 1978.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, that sounds scary. What is
that? That was a ventriloquist dummy, right?
He's got a dummy named Fats who comes to life, or maybe
ventriloquism isn't magic, by the way, dummy. not you. I'm just saying the people who made that movie. Ventriloquism isn't magic.
Yeah, that's true. They think, by the way, all of the stuff I read about everyone's favorite Chucky is the Curse of Chucky is the one to see.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I've never seen it.
It's kind of like that's why I give this one a little bit of a pass, Child's Play, because I feel like they're studying a lot of groundwork here, and it's kind of like you don't necessarily know what you can or can't do, and you're trying to probably focus too much on certain characters and certain ideas. But after you've lived this thing for a while, it starts to grow legs.
It looks like Curse of Chucky is the 6th one. It's from 2013.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, that's more recent than I thought. Didn't know they were doing them then.
Yeah.
We do, by the way, before we get too far away from it, we do need to put magic on the film set.
Oh, really? Yeah. Are you convinced now?
I remember seeing the trailer for this thing as a kid and freaking me out. But you've got Anthony Hopkins, you mentioned, and Margaret Burgess Meredith, and Charles Emerson Winchester III, David Ogden Stiers.
Wow. What's the name of it again?
Directed by Richard Attenborough. It's called Magic.
What?
Magic.
Directed by Richard. Not narrated by, but
not narrated by.
Not the one. Wait, Richard Attenborough, the one that. Oh, not David Attenborough, the brother with the nature.
David.
Right.
He's spared no expense. Attenborough's who we're talking about here.
But this is the same person who made Miracle on 34th Street, right? That's Richard
yes.
Attenborough.
Well,
Yes.
he's an actor in that, but yeah, he didn't make. He played
was
Santa Claus. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one that he's Doctor whatever, or the head of Jurassic Park. What's his name?
Yeah, he's not him.
He spared no expense.
Spared no expense. That's all we know for sure.
He
brought-
no expense.
He brought his
I've added it to my watch list for film set.
He brought his grandchildren
we'll
in
find
and put them in danger immediately. That's what he's known
That's
for.
right.
Right.
Let's see what else he's directed. I see.
And then he
such
gave him ice cream.
Oh, there it is. Oh, What a Lovely War, Young Winston, Bridge Too Far, Gandhi. He directed a little film called Gandhi.
Mm-hmm.
Chorus Line, Cry Freedom, Chaplin, Shadowlands, and Love and War, Grey Owl, Closing the Ring, and Magic.
Yeah, he did all kinds of cool stuff.
Magic.
Gandhi, you
Gandhi.
won something for maybe director.
Oh, Best Picture, if I remember correctly.
Best Picture for
People-
sure. I can't remember if he got
People
a
used to
director.
treat Gandhi like it was a long movie.
Hmm.
Nowadays,
I can't
191 minutes, 2
Yeah.
hours
Can't
and
watch
10
it.
minutes.
2 hours, 10 minutes. I don't have a whole afternoon.
I mean, this movie was only an hour 27, so I could definitely know the feels.
Oh, I loved how short this was. This was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what you do with a Chucky movie? Don't make it too long. That is a rule.
No.
almost a
don't need to
little
think about
too
it.
tight for me. Looking back on it, I was like, I could have used just another minute or two at the beginning of establishing how terrible Brad Dourif is. Like, I didn't,
Right.
I didn't
Strangler somebody.
understand to start that he was as bad a person as he was, and it's real hard to get that across once he's trapped in a doll.
Yeah, it just seemed
I
like
think it's a really
like a
good point.
skeevy heist guy. He didn't seem like a serial killer to me. Just seemed like a
No, he didn't seem like a strangler either, because he's got his buddy Fast Eddie, who's like out at a drop of a hat. He's like, "I'm out of here, buddy," and he's running around with a gun. So what's the point? What's he strangling? And
hanging
why
out
is
with
his buddy hanging
Voodoo
out with him? I
Voodoo
need to know
Carl or
more.
whatever his name is. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, Voodoo, big city Voodoo. He's like, he's going and he's all like, "I don't use my voodoo for good," and he's like, "I can't believe you perverted this," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. His name, by the way, this was fun trivia. Charles Lee Ray is derived from the names of notorious killers Charles Manson,
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald, and James Earl
It's a
Ray,
great
who
name.
assassinated Martin Luther King. Yeah.
It's a
Wow.
great name. It's terrible people. Great name.
Well,
And Brad
right.
Dourif still continues to have one of the best photos on IMDb.
yep.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah.
Is it the little gray, black and white gray hat thing?
Little black and white one with his little hat and bow tie and everything. Yeah.
I love that.
I was worm tongue.
He's great. He's such an interesting actor in everything I've ever seen him in. But he's got to be like a million now, right? How old is he?
Yeah.
Which just
not that old.
But he's got a kind of look that like it's just an advantage the older he gets.
Yeah, it doesn't help that his IMDb photo looks like it was taken in 1925.
Mhm.
right.
Oh, he's
got
in
that
the
hat on. Like-
1950, so
Like
he
he's
is
got that straw flat
73.
hat.
73. Wow.
Yeah.
73.
Exorcist 3, he's in as another serial killer,
Oh.
so that's fun. That's cool that he
Yeah.
gets to do that all the time, I guess.
He's convincing.
He's in, I'm sorry, did Chucky cross over with WWE Raw this year or like a couple years ago? Yeah. He's the voice of Chucky
feel
in
right.
WWE Raw.
That feels right.
He seems to be
Oh,
getting.
please tell me that there were wrestlers up there pretending to have a fight with a doll that they were like
It's
flopping around.
So you
It
gotta be
looks
careful.
like-
You can't do no dwarf tossing. That's very close. You
Yeah.
gotta be careful.
You have to be
Oh, right.
careful.
Maybe having a
Right.
little person in a Chucky costume
Mhm.
that was
It
wrestling.
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
it looks
I
like
like
what
that a little better.
happened
Mm.
is that they had a WWE person on the Chucky series.
Oh, is that what
Oh,
happened?
okay.
Well, it says
Yeah.
WWE Raw. Yeah, no. Okay, I can't. They've credited him on an episode of WWE Raw, and which has everybody like
sure.
Lawler.
You have Chucky come on the screen and yell at everybody in the arena, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So he's doing the angry talking. Then is what you're saying? Angry talking part, not actually out on the ring.
the taunting. Sure.
Damn, I want him
Right.
wrestling. That's what I want. What are you guys
Me
doing?
too. I wanted to see guys
that's
up
why I
there
said you gotta
holding
be
the
careful. You
doll
can't.
like,
You can't.
What if it's
You
a kid?
can't.
It could be a kid. Put a kid in there. It's fine.
Or you have like a
Even
wrestler.
better.
That seems like a safety hazard.
You have you have like a wrestler come out, but they're standing right in front of a curtain, and Chucky comes through the curtain and grabs them and pulls them backwards.
Mm.
Oh, there you go.
There
I
you go.
think,
I like
I
that.
think what you do is you just have him come out is that the commercial that they show in the middle of this movie that I completely forgot about, where the person's in the full size suit, where it's like
Oh, yeah.
H&R Puffin stuff kind of size Chucky. I'm like, oh, that's scarier right there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Mascot looking.
That thing was huge. Oh my gosh, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Not a fan. It's speaking of all that, they use a whole bunch of ways, as we've talked about in the show in the movie, to show Chucky. This included RC animatronics, little remote stuff. They had some little people once in a while. They had child actors once in a while. It says here various animatronics and cosmetics were used for every scene throughout the movie. Chucky's cosmetics transitioning from toy-looking to more human-looking. The film created multiple Chucky animatronics, such as a flailing tantrum Chucky, a walking Chucky, and a stationary Chucky.
Stationary. In other words, it's a Chucky doll.
Yeah,
just a stationary Chucky.
But that I have to give them credit in this one regard. In 1988, there's a lot of variety going on with that doll, and I guess kind of is impressive for its time. I don't know what it looks like. That new stuff now.
Puppetry work. So I may be a little skewed here because I love practical puppetry work.
I do too.
It's just such an
But
art.
you know what's scarier than this? Gremlins. And Gremlins is full of puppets. And why is that more scary? I don't know. I think there was I felt like there was for some reason, because of the sheer volume of Gremlins, there's a greater danger. Where when you really stop, if you stop even for half a second and go, oh, this is a small doll, even if it's full human mass, I probably could get away. Because you're getting zerged. You're getting zerged by numbers, right?
Yeah, maybe that's
right.
it. Yeah.
Hadn't thought of that. But I also think there's a certain chaos and just like abandon to those gremlins that I think probably freaks me out the most.
Yeah.
Chucky's greatest power is his ability to surprise. That's his greatest power.
Because of his size.
Sitting there.
Yeah.
He's like a cat. You're just sitting there, you're watching TV, suddenly he jumps up, he's biting your arm, like, what the hell's going on? And you throw him across the room, and then you can't find him.
Well, which is true of Gremlins. It's true of E.T., right? Like they're all these creatures that move around and surprise you because they're so small that you don't see them behind the couch. And that's that's where I feel like the brilliance of this movie goes, because so many times I'm like, oh shit, where's Chucky? Like many times watching this movie, I had that thought, and that's exactly what you want to engender in your audience.
It's really any scene where you've got the other characters like trying to find him or looking around or whatever, and it's like, all right, I know he's somewhere in this house or he's somewhere in this car. Where is he? What's he gonna do?
Which made me laugh like a lot during this film, because I'd never really thought, once again watching this movie for the first time, critically instead of just haphazardly. And so I'm like, how in the hell, right? How in the hell is Chucky getting around town without people seeing him? I mean, he is like all over town.
Trench coat, little trench coat. He just runs around.
Three dolls on top of each other, pretending to be a full man.
Exactly. Yep.
Was everybody so high on drugs in that town that it was like, oh, looks like that's what I usually see. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like just said earlier, that town is a bad part of town.
My favorite thing about this series is this original film was supposed to be called Batteries Not Included, and they had to.
Oh my!
Oh really?
I love that movie.
I don't. Thank goodness they changed it.
Yeah, you don't. I don't like the movie title.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
but I like
Child's
the
Play is
movie.
great. I don't think the name Child's Play is great, but I think Batteries Not Included is even worse. Batteries Not Included sounds like a sex romp.
Well, it's
now you've seen Batteries Not Included, right? You've seen the real movie,
the
Spielberg, with the asterisk,
which is why they did it, because they found out he was making one. They're like, we're not competing with Spielberg names, guys. Call it something else, and so they called it Child's Play.
I like Child's Play as a name.
Batteries Not Included would be a fun watch here because
I love that movie.
I don't remember how I feel.
Yeah, I've kind of in the same boat. I remember watching
Cocoon.
it.
We need to watch Cocoon 2. We got to,
because that was the deal. It was like an apartment building, alien robot-y flying things land on the top, and everybody changes everybody's life for the better, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's like Jessica Tandy and Hume Cronin,
just like Cocoon,
the same couple.
Just like Cocoon.
And they're running around doing old people shit, and there's robots. It's fun.
We're doing old people shit. You want to make some more grits? This is what old people do.
Yeah.
just old people shit.
Oh, I didn't know. Sorry, I just saw this out of corner. I didn't know that Mark Hamill played him in that remake in 2013. That's Chucky.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's Mark. Chucky is Mark Hamill in 2013. And what's it called? I guess it's just called Child's Play. It's just a remake. This is the one that a lot of people claim is very good. If you can just deal with remakes. Like it's a literal remake of the first movie. That might be fun to see, just to compare to what we just saw.
For sure.
I think so,
I'd like
because-
to see if they learn some things about, making the doll do doll things.
Yeah, right.
do doll things, and also introducing, like Randy had mentioned, Brad Dourif's character at the top when he's still alive.
Yes,
maybe
right.
he
Give
can
us a little more
entice some
backstory.
kids with some toys, a little irony, maybe.
Yeah, they did a good
working
job with that with Jackie Earle Haley and the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I thought that made it a lot scarier than the original.
I still have never seen that. Is that worth seeing?
It is. Yeah. I think so.
I saw that's up there now. I might sneak that in since we're not doing it. At least not yet. We're not doing it.
Yeah, just like I'm sneaking one out.
This is
that was very sneaky.
I love this one. This is a fun bit of trivia. Despite their long-running collaborative effort to bring Chucky to life, voice actor Brad Dourif and special effects wizard Kevin Yeager never met in person until they were both guests of honor at a convention in May of 2018. So all those years later, the guy who's voicing your robot
pointing at each other, mouth open.
Like Spider-Man out there doing
the Spider-Man meme. Yeah,
that's great. That's great.
I thought there was some pretty good voiceover work in this movie. However, by the end of it, I was like, I wish they'd just given Chucky his voice the entire time. The entire time.
Instead of the, hi, I'm Chucky. I want to be your friend till the end.
I hate that. Mm-hmm. That annoying.
But it was okay. I'm not saying that was bad.
All right. So that's also keeping in line, though, with he's in the doll, but he's slowly becoming human. And so that's kind of the one of the first things you get as you start to become human in doll form is the voice.
I'm saying what I'm saying is Grima Wormtongue is a fantastic voice actor, and he could have done that entire progression.
Yeah, he could.
I'm just saying that they could explain it as being his transformation from doll to human.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But at the end, when he's trying to get some sympathy in the very last second, he's all melted and screwed, and he's about to get shot in the heart.
Yeah,
and he says, hey, Billy, or whatever the kid's name was. His name
Andy.
Oh my gosh, it's Andy because it's like a dark Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a toy. Anyway, I don't know why Seinfeld was here.
I don't know why you went Jerry, but I love it.
Yeah, but he kind of fakes a very soft sort of, I'm just your toy, Andy, kind of thing at the end. And he could have done that throughout. He probably could have. That could have been the original voice. I agree. Mm-hmm. So in the 2013 one, now I'm really curious if Mark Hamill runs around and kills people. Like if he's I
hope so.
Live action.
He plays a good villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's great as a villain. I heard something the other day. What the hell was I listening to? I couldn't believe it was Mark Hamill, though. Blew my mind. It was something audio, or maybe it was a animated thing, but he just was. I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I had to turn it up. It's like, yeah, that's Mark Hamill doing his thing, and it was great. So yeah, I guess what we're saying is that's fine. Mark Hamill's fine. Keep him in there. Here's some scrutiny. Speaking of this doll, hold on, scrutiny. If I can find it. Scrutiny. According to trivia, and I just don't know if this is true. Maybe it is. We could probably find out. The My Buddy doll line took a huge hit from this movie. And
sure.
According to this, never recovered, if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
That feels like bullshit. But I could certainly see. I don't think, because first of all, the kids who are getting My Buddy, we're watching this.
No, they're not even in the audience for this. Right? No kid goes, Mom, I really wanted My Buddy for Christmas, but since this Child's Play movie's out, I can't do it anymore.
It was a fad. It's a fad. It's like blaming the Garbage Pail Kids for the Cabbage Patch Kids destruction.
Slump.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. And you could be the worst mom ever. And when your kid does want a My Buddy, give him a box the same size as a My Buddy box and put a pair of pants in it and not do it as a
hilarious.
joke.
Yeah.
So hilarious.
Some socks in there.
Yeah. And let's not do it as a joke. Let's just do it as like, oh no, this was the only box I could find to put pants in.
Yeah.
She was horrible. What a horrible
She was a bad mom. Yeah. Well, later she got all vengeful and went on a hell-bent tirade trying to find what was going on and trying to convince the world this doll was real. And you're supposed to get all behind her and go, yeah, that's right, Karen. I never could. She drove me crazy.
I loved it.
Yeah, I did too. I really enjoyed her performance in this movie.
It's over the top. There's something about the actor's style. No offense to her personally,
but it's also a combination of her and Prince Humperdinck, because he is for some reason in my mind, he is destined to be her husband. Like I just like
Right.
as soon as I see the two of them, I'm like, oh,
yes, right, exactly. They're
And
gonna fall in love because of this.
they gave us a little bit of comedy. Will they? Won't they? Throughout.
Did they?
With that couple? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when he leaves,
I missed it.
he's all talking about her and stuff. And yeah, now she doesn't seem to reciprocate.
Yeah, but talking about her like she's a crazy person who believes that a doll can talk.
No,
how romantic! How romantic and sexy.
Hey Sid, you know what they say about crazy women?
I hear crazy women. You don't stick your gun in that.
Yeah,
I got no will they won't they out of that whole thing.
No, but you could tell that like, well, I don't remember in the sequel. It's the same kid, right? This Alex or this
yeah, but he
kid?
goes to live with his aunt in Child's Play 2.
Not his dad, because his dad is dad.
Not his dead aunt either.
His dad is dead.
Nope.
Because his first aunt flew out the window, so this must be a second aunt.
Yeah, Aunt Maggie.
Yeah.
I don't think she's really an aunt. I think that was an honorary title.
By the way, that's Diana Manoff, who was in. She was one of the pink ladies in Grease, and she was Danny Dallas's late wife in the TV show Soap.
Oh, wow.
It was a heartbreaking.
I forgot about that.
The first death in that movie was like so striking because she gets shot by the mob.
Damn, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's like, wait, this is supposed to be a funny soap opera comedy thing. How are you killing off a great character?
Here's a crazy bit of info. Brad Dourif is in 173 movies. My gosh. Well, there's a lot of that is TV, but still, he's a busy boy, this man.
He's a busy boy.
Anyway, I was trying to find...
He doesn't have time to update his IMDb photo.
Just like those restaurants we talked about, his first movie
IMDb
was in 75.
photos ever. I'm talking over Scott. I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're right, though.
It is so freaking good. If I had that photo from 1979 or whenever, I would keep it forever too.
For sure. Yes.
When was Child's Play 2? I'm trying to find what the deal is.
1990.
Oh wow! So it's 2 years later.
Oh my gosh, he filmed
later.
so much stuff in between these movies. There it is, 90. Okay, so he's in it. Where's
Jenny Gutter, I think, but I can't remember what her relation to the mom was.
Joanne Simpson. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Was it just going off with a friend for a while or something?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh, Greg German was in that. I don't remember shit about 2. You guys, we watched it together.
I know, yeah.
I don't remember anything. Wasn't there a conveyor belt fight scene? Like a whole, that's all I remember.
Yes. It was definitely a conveyor belt.
At the facility where they make the good guy dolls.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Wasn't he going to get his essence somehow incanted into all of the dolls?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It's not great, Brian. It's not great.
No, it's not great.
No, look, I understand its place. I respect it for what it is and that it's...
Oh, here we go. So here is the story. Meanwhile, Andy Barclay, now 8 years old, has been in foster care ever since the murders, his mother having been institutionalized for backing up Andy's story about the killer doll. Andy goes to live with foster parents Phil and Joanne Simpson, who are also fostering Kyle, a cynical, street-smart teenage girl.
Oh, wow.
I don't believe anything you're saying about the doll.
Okay.
I don't believe it.
So hold on a second.
Yes.
I thought they seem to be ending in a happy... What happened to Officer Lips?
This is how horror movies. He probably got killed in the first minute of the day.
No
This is how
officer,
sequels go in horror films.
at all in the sequel.
It's not in it. Okay.
You wipe away everything from the previous one.
Well, okay, so the series is known for this. I was reading some stuff about the creators, and they said that the fun with Chucky is that he's never no movie is the same as the previous one. They try new tropes, they do new things. Sometimes the doll is straight up animatronic in one of them. He's like an animatronic doll and not a doll. And so that's a rewriting of things a little bit, and they do it every time. So I don't know. That's fun, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I don't know who's like pining for it. I don't know who the people are that are sitting there going,
"Oh, dude, there is people love." Okay, so I worked at Blockbuster. We've talked about this in the past. I'm telling you, man, people come in. They were every weekend. Oh, we're gonna rent Child's Play again. I'm telling you, man. There's some people that love this movie.
Yeah,
and the series.
I guess to each
I'm
their
one of them.
own. I just can't understand the.
Andy is back for 3, not the kid who plays him, but the character. Now he's in military school because he didn't do well in his foster homes.
Oh well, it keeps having.
And
to
I
deal
can
with
almost
these dolls.
guarantee you, he's like, I've been through counseling, and I no longer believe Chucky's real. Chucky's real.
Yeah,
I can
but
just
you
like
haven't
that. How the
you
story
haven't
went.
seen it. You don't have it on
Been a while.
Blu-ray. Okay.
It's been so long since I've seen. I watched 1, 2, and 3. I think when I was working at Blockbuster still, and I loved them all then. But I haven't seen 3 in. What is the year? What is the current year?
Yeah. What is time? I don't
Too
even
many
know.
years.
Right.
But I like there are things I like about this movie. There's things I like about the series, but it turns out most of it is just conceptual, because in actual execution, I'm usually just sort of like, oh, okay, this doll, like Megan, is 1,000 times better than these Chucky movies. So much
Yeah,
better.
just watch
Megan
that for the first
has
time.
all the Chucky series to call upon.
Well,
To learn from,
Megan's better.
sure.
sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean,
I watched Megan right after this, by the way, or maybe right before.
oh, what'd you
That's
think?
dangerous.
What'd you
I know.
think?
I realized it as I was doing it that it was a bad idea, but
Do you like it?
Is that Will Wheaton
I
in
did
part
really
3?
like it.
Is Will Wheaton in part?
No, that's Justin Whalen, who was Jimmy Olsen and Lois and Clark.
Oh my lord.
Oh my god! Sometimes I get them.
Yeah.
Especially this age, I get confused sometimes.
Yeah, you thought you paid for it. I'm old.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
did this come from Temu?
Oh
No,
my
I did,
gosh.
but I did really enjoy Megan. I thought it was predictable, but good.
Yeah, and they nail the they know that movie knows what it's supposed to be.
Yes,
And it really leans into those things that a robot would do. Like,
but you also get that robot is, nobody's ever saying, oh my god, that robot is alive. It's like, all right, well, she's malfunctioning and she's somewhat aware of what she's doing. But it is that whole like, now here's another person who has to convince everybody that she's malfunctioning, she's bad. Now here's another couple people who worked on the project who have to convince everybody.
yeah.
So it's
We've got to watch Child's Play 3. I kind of forgot about all of this stuff. Oh my god!
All right. I'll just
I've
go ahead
forgotten
and
so
slot it
much.
in for next year.
All right.
Child's Play 3 subtitle or cover box blurb. Look who's stalking.
Oh,
I'll just leave this here for everybody to look at.
that's
look
not
who's-
that's
look
not
who's
Bride of Chucky, right? That's not that.
No, that's 3.
Okay.
No, it's like almost like Dream Warriors, if I remember correctly, where it's got like all these a group of teenagers kind of dealing with all this stuff. And
I hope it's all the
money's full of
teenagers from military school. Like,
It's pretty much a
like
military
they're,
school thing, I think.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know this. So Bride of Chucky. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Jennifer Tilly was Tiffany the doll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and she's amazingly creepy.
She's
I do
perfect.
remember that.
I didn't know
perfect.
Katherine Heigl's is like her first thing. Weird.
Oh wow.
Mm.
And John
Weird.
Ritter.
Before Train 2, where she's Steven Seagal's daughter.
Was he? Was she? I don't remember that.
Wasn't she the daughter
Maybe
In which one? In which
in 2? In Under
Under
Siege
Siege 2? Yes,
And-
Dark Territory.
she
yeah.
was the daughter. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
You know the subtitle. Under Siege 2, Doctor.
Because I just pulled it up as you were saying. I don't have my
good, good,
Catherine
good, good.
Hagel
Sorry.
knowledge down that well.
John Ritter is in Bride of Chucky. There's things about Bride of Chucky we should probably dig into.
I know,
yeah,
I
that's
know.
also.
We can't, but we
a-
can't leapfrog through. We have to see 3, and then we can get to the Bride of
Yeah. So I'm fine with a Chucky every Sacktober.
Chucky
It's fine.
Returns.
Just do one every year.
Let's run through
Until we're
checklists.
until we're out of them.
Plenty.
Here's the thing I noticed. This is a bit of a trope. Oh, where'd it go? I lost it. Oh shit. It's gone then. All right. Never mind. Oh, I got a question. The color of blood is never right in this decade of the 1980s.
It's like dark brown or black or
or too red, like strawberry red. It's just like, what are you guys doing?
Everybody's different on the inside, Scott. You didn't know that?
Right.
I just know that I've watched a lot of horror movies this month, many of them newer, and the blood tech is down. We are with it now. We
Oh.
got it. We know what it looks like. We know that it's dark in pools. We know how it looks when it's thin on your skin. We can pull it off. What was going on in 1988 where we're like, just throw a little raspberry cream in there and it looks like blood, right? No,
It's close enough.
It's not even near close. I hate it. It drives me. It pulls me out of all these old movies, and that includes
Well, then don't
great
go
old
back
movies.
and watch any kung fu movies from like the 70s because sometimes they decolorize it completely. And this looks like water.
Just like paint, and sometimes it's just like paint, right? Like I
think it's water looking.
I rewatched Casino for reasons,
Right.
I don't know, a month ago or something, and every time there was blood in there, same problem. It just looked like somebody dumped some Smuckers on the table. And I'm like, even Scorsese can't get the blood right. What are we doing back then?
Right.
Yeah.
Did we not
not
have
like
the
we didn't
right
know what blood
material?
looked like.
Can we have? Listen, I know we have a lot of
So,
listeners.
that is actually a really good question. I don't think it's necessarily the material. I think it may have been the photography problem. I'm not sure how
That
that would have registered on those particular.
red is a
cameras
tough
and
color
film.
to get right. But it's also like you've got to figure out not just the color but the consistency, and sometimes the stuff you use to make the right consistency doesn't have the right color, or vice versa. Like Caro syrup and red isn't quite right. It's too red, but it's got the right consistency, and blood turns brown after a while after being exposed. So you've got to play around with that, because if it's this person was killed 3 days ago and there's still red blood all over the place, then it doesn't look believable.
And I think as we move along into movie making, I think we become more and more dependent upon experts in fields to make things better. I think that's just what we usually do.
And the
We
internet
contract
comes
somebody out.
along, and the internet allows all of these professionals working in disparate places on disparate things to communicate with each other and find out, there's a guy who's doing a thing that's real good, and then suddenly everybody's doing it. So like these filmmakers, probably some producer knows a blood guy, and they just bring that guy in to make a mix of something, and they don't really care before a certain point when everybody's talking.
to make the blood.
Yeah. That kind of authenticity, I guess, grows with how cinematography grows. So I think it's all tied together. We have listeners who are in the film business. Maybe somebody will pipe in. Jay Funktastic.
They're dying right now. Literally, they're trying to transfer their essence into a doll.
They are.
Oh my God, they're so stupid.
Yeah, they're losing it. I wouldn't blame them, but we don't know. We don't know these things. That's why we ask. We don't know.
We're not experts on that.
We talked about what grossed me out the most a little bit earlier, but it did come down to peeing on the homeless tent. That grossed me out. And I know that it's not really happening, and I know that there aren't people that are really peeing, but the concept of people just peeing out in the open, that's rough. I can't do that.
Right.
That's not a part of my life.
Really? Because didn't you spend some time in China?
I did, and it wasn't bad. There was okay, let me back that up. Hong Kong.
Back that up thing. Back it up.
Hong Kong was the cleanest city I've ever been in. It was amazing.
Okay. Yes.
Then we drove into southern China to Shenzhen, the home of SARS, and there was a lot of pee. So you're right. It depends on where you're at. There was pee. There's a little bit of poo. I have to be honest. A little poo. Yeah. People. Sure. What I remember being blown away by at the time.
We're a little too hung up on poo here in the United States. I think we need to start pooing outside more often.
You might sell me on us being a little too hung up on.
You don't have to be.
I don't think you're going to tell me that we're too hung up on poo. I think we're just the right amount of hung up on poo.
I mean, human beings are supposed to be hung up on it because it's against our survival nature to hang around, disease and bacteria and everything else. Yeah. So I'm with Brian.
Cover it up.
We have just the amount of
hang up outside.
Yeah, exactly.
The requisite amount of hang up there. That's what we're going to say.
But have you ever taken a poop outside? It's very freeing. It's very freeing.
Yes, I have. One time in Lake Powell, I had to do a quick poop in the sand and bury it. I hated every part of it. I'd never want to do that again. I love the modern plumbing. Screw pooing in the wild. I don't like it.
I do like to poo in private.
I'd rather back up my colon than have to poo outside and not have.
How'd he die when he was outside for a week? Exactly. What else was he gonna do?
I don't know, man.
I have probably spent over 500 nights out camping.
Yeah, you're a camper guy, big time camper.
You get used to it. Yeah, you get used to it.
How do you know if
you work out all of your ways, your process,
anxiety.
Yeah, you want to do it over a log has been my experience. If you can find a log, then you're good. What did that?
So you're laying logs on logs. All right. Well, I think we've explored this part of the story.
Yeah, we have. We've gone all the way through it. We're good now.
Right.
everything's fine.
You can
I
tune back in now.
actually have a theory about this. I think movies like this are for children who are going against their parental house rules to see it. In other words,
Okay.
these
Like
are
a fairy
not
tale. So this is a tale of.
well, I just mean it's a rebellion point for kids. Like their parents are going to be like, you can't watch Chucky. It's R-rated. You can't bring that tape home. Whatever. And that's when those kids go, okay, mom, and then sneak over to Billy's to watch it. It's one of these kinds of movies, I think. Like when I was a kid, maybe that was Porky's
Agreed.
or what else? I don't know.
No, you're spot on. You're spot on. If you were, there's plenty of kids would come in and try to.
Did you have to ID kids for that stuff, by the way, when you worked at?
So there was if I remember correctly, there was no hard rule about that. However, I think you were supposed to be, responsible enough to kind of recognize.
Interesting. So if a 10-year-old came in and said, I'd like this copy of Porky's, you were
Right.
encouraged to say what? Oh, you shouldn't watch that, young man.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm getting it for my dad. No, I don't think so.
But then what if it was a young-looking 20-something and you were just like,
Well, this is okay. This is all memory. So this is all just like old man hazy memory. I remember it being totally up to the cashier to make that discernment of whether or not they should be able to
right?
see.
But even if they did, so what's the point then? If you're not gonna, if you don't enforce it with ID or something, then what's the? May as well just let them get it.
I guess that could be one thing you would do is say, hey, let me see your ID.
Yeah.
If you think they're like right on the verge, like if it's a 10-year-old, I mean, there's no question. I don't need to see your ID. You're 10.
I don't know what
I can
there's
see
no
10.
laws.
I can recognize a 10-year-old.
Like a movie theater has no law they have to adhere to about minors, right? They can just let them in.
The same thing with movie
NC-17s
theaters
and
too. There's plenty of times where I would go up and buy an R-rated movie ticket when I was, 15, 16, and the guy was like, "Whatever, bruh," and you just go on in.
Well, that's my
but then
point.
there's other
I don't think
times
I don't think it's like cigarettes or alcohol where it's regulated.
No.
It's regulated,
not
so they can say, hey, by law number 25.
That's because the
23.
MPAA is just a body of studios, right? It's just
there's
self-governing.
There's no law. That's interesting.
Right.
As a kid, it felt like there was a law, because you're
well,
they
you
were
were
trying
in
to pass
Utah.
laws,
There
and that's when
absolutely was
MPAA
a law in Utah.
Okay,
Oh, was there? Well, there wasn't.
State law. So
Guarantee
state
it.
law.
I don't think that's correct. I lived in
I will
the 80s.
guarantee that like providing materials to a minor or something was against the law,
Right.
but it's still against the law in Utah.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd need a citation on that. I don't think there was any law that said I couldn't go sneak into Die Hard underage or
And this
whatever.
is when the lawyers who listen are really having it. They're trying to put their bodies and their spirits into a Chucky doll right now.
exactly.
They're dying.
It's happening all over the place. They're actually just trying to do their phones.
Now, mind you, I don't mind the stereotype that we have weird laws here because it keeps prices down. I like it. I'm actually into it because it means that nobody wants to come here. But
Nobody wants to move to Utah.
yeah, but I don't think that's starting to change. Unfortunately, everybody wants to move here now. But it was, I'm just trying to think. Was there? We all feared it. We all thought, oh, we can't go in there without fake ID.
Once again, that was the whole move by the film industry, right? To really self-regulate so that the government wouldn't step in because people were pushing their politicians to put in laws, and then big movie said, hold up, we'll do something. Just chill your butts. We'll do something. Isn't that kind of how the story went, if I remember correctly?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I just got suckered by the propaganda,
You probably did.
Yeah. I felt like
You probably thought when you were 16 that guy behind the cash counter represented the man. He was authority. And as far as you was concerned, that guy at was AMC. What'd you have?
What did we have back then? We didn't really have a chain. What did we have?
Didn't have a chain. Yeah, that was probably might have been before the multiplexes and stuff. Really.
Yeah, I feel like we had two or three. We had man theaters that may have been a chain. MANN.
Right.
Oh yeah, man.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
They're gone now. But man theaters, and then a lot of independent ones. I think. I don't know. I don't remember that at all. That's funny because today you would think, oh yeah, did you go to Megaplex or did you go to AMC? Where'd you go? Alamo.
Right.
But back then, I don't think we didn't know. We're just like, where's the shoot? Where's the screen with the boobies?
Right. We had a mall theater and a standalone theater called the Apollo, where they had like Greek kind of statues with like boobies, Yeah.
Yeah.
It's high class.
Okay, I looked this up on findlaw.com. Let me tell you what it says.
Right.
And this may,
Find the law.
it's the internet. It's my first look, so who knows? If they want to, theaters can strictly enforce the ratings. Businesses generally have the right to refuse service to anybody as long as the reasons aren't discriminatory. The protected classification of race, gender, religion, and national origin do not include age. So a theater can enforce the ratings by refusing to sell a ticket to an NC-17 movie to a 14-year-old. If the theaters do make efforts to not sell tickets to R and NC-17 to children, they can also remove children from the theaters of those movies if they've snuck in or something. Chances are the kids did not buy a ticket for that movie anyway, but for a different movie instead, and they snuck in there. However, if the theater sold you a ticket to an R-rated movie, and even though you are under 17 and not accompanied by an adult, then you have the right to be there. If you are removed, the theater will likely have to refund your ticket. So it's not enforceable. It's just it's secularly
no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. There you go. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, we reserve the right to do what we want.
Oh, we learned a little something today. That was a good learning.
Yeah,
thing.
I've seen movies about sheriffs that persecute teenagers. I've seen it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we're supposed to believe that
that's the law.
They can ban dancing and Footloose. I'm sure we're meant to believe it, but I'm not sure it actually ever happened. Well, anyway, we have anything else to say about this? Oh, we had a homeless montage. We went looking for the people and they montaged. Right. That was fun. Haven't had that in a while.
I had a question: is as an actor, do you think it's weird when you have to give a tummy raspberry to a kid who's playing your child?
Yes.
I was really uncomfortable. That was definitely something that parents do. It's definitely something parents do. But,
yeah, of course. But it's your kid. It's your own kid.
I was like,
but when you're just the chocolate bar Star Trek lady, chocolate bar in space talking to the whales, and this kid is a stranger effectively to you. I don't know. That was a little intimate. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all. I mean, I did it with all my kids all the time, but I'm not going to walk up to some stranger kid and do it ever.
No.
Can you imagine that? Or even like your nephew or niece, I would not do that.
Nope.
Like it's too that's parent that's for parents, dude. That's for parents, and I've seen some chimpanzees do it.
This comes from the same movie that when they say, I think Chucky said, I've got a date with a 6-year-old. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that doesn't sound right.
No, not at all. Especially because I just read a book about it's a revenge book, but there's abduction in it of kids, and then this dad goes on a John Wick style revenge kick to find his daughter. And it was a really fun book to go through, but it's got me in that headspace of like, do anything you can to protect a kid. And so when I hear stuff like this in other movies, I'm like, oh, you bastard. I'm going to come get you John Wick style. I'm going to come get you. Stop me if you can. All right, well, let's do some.
I learned how to shoot like John Wick.
That's right. Let's do some clips, fellas.
Yeah.
We got some clips here, man. I'm telling you, they're right here. I can see them. And we're going to start with this one, getting mad with Dorif. So let's hear how mad he can get.
You hear that, you son of a bitch? I'm going to get you for it. I'm going to get you, and I'm going to get Eddie, no matter what.
Well, he did. We got Eddie.
I kind of like how they went. Go ahead.
I just love that he stopped and coughed in the middle of that. Oh, yeah, something about that.
Yeah. Got quite.
You can't do that voice for that long without hurting your throat.
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
I like how close it got because they did the audio like it was filmed on set, and then that last little line, they did it like really up close, and it felt like, I don't know if it probably wasn't intentional, but it felt like it was slowly coming towards you, and then it was in your face, and it was kind of unsettling.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah, he plays
intentional. I don't know.
He's the kind of actor you in real life. I'd be terrified of that guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he might do anything.
He just looks scary. I'm sure he's nice and all that.
He might try to strangle you with some jumper cables from your own car.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I recommend watching Deadwood because his Doc Cochran is such a different role for him. He's actually the most what's the word? Empathetic character in the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just worried about everybody all the time, trying to help people that need help, helping the hookers, helping the
Very, very different role for Dourif.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else.
Oh, he's
done.
so good in there. Love it.
I started making a list of the creepiest looking and sounding actors of all time. Like just while watching this movie, I'm just like, gosh,
He's got to be on the list then, right? You'd have.
Oh
to
yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's Wormtongue. He's the head of the list, right?
Right.
And I didn't actually go anywhere with it because I was like, okay, so we have like a Freddy Krueger guy, and we have what's his name from? And I just I don't know.
They
it
ran
just
out of
didn't really
steam.
go anywhere for me.
Sure. That was a good
and you
start,
have
though.
to-
It's a good start.
You have to stop and ask questions like, what? So does this list include like Nick Cage and Nick Nolte and other people named Nick
And other
like,
Nicks. Right.
All the Nicks.
Brilliant.
You named two of my favorite, so it's fine.
Yeah, and they're not always creepy. That's the other thing.
Yeah, the
They're
two of
not
the best
always
Nicks.
creepy.
Dude,
Like, whereas-
here's what we're severely lacking on Film Sack. Nick Nolte films. Let's get that up a notch because I love that guy. Oh my gosh. And the older he gets, he's the Schwarzenegger of
when
Nick
he's
Nolte.
in The Mandalorian, right?
What's
That's
the?
he does that voice.
Oh yeah, he's great in that.
What is the? What's the most sackable Nick Nolte film? 48 Hours?
Probably
Watch
48
it.
hours. Maybe the first Hulk, the one from 03.
I forgot about that.
Is
Yeah,
it Down and Out
Banner
Beverly
Hulk.
Hills, or am I getting that confused?
No, you're right. Down and Out Beverly Hills. Is that
Because
not
it was
my
right after
beautiful
that
car?
that his mugshot looked like Down and Out Beverly Hills.
That's where the Talking Head song, that is not my beautiful wife, that whole thing.
Yeah.
You know the real name. What's the name of it, Brian?
It's called Once in a Lifetime.
Once in a lifetime. Okay, so I got it now. That song is forever tied just to that movie for me because when I saw it, it was in the opening credits, maybe, or a big part of the movie.
Really?
So now I don't. They're inseparable for me. They're just this. That song goes with that movie. That movie goes with that song. Yeah. I don't know if that's
Okay, you
fair
know what?
to the Talking Heads.
I am going to pursue this because I just like my Brad Dourif list, like in my brain, I just got Mads Mikkelsen and Joaquin Phoenix. And I'm like, okay, this is actually interesting. This is a really
you know what?
interesting
That list could
thing.
go places. I think you should pursue it. And put that guy that put his wiener on the window in Sideways.
Sideways.
Put him in there.
Oh man, Crispin Glover.
Oh yeah, dude. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Here's a kid who is working on. This is the kid, but he's working on becoming
Here's
the
a
next.
kid.
He's the next Owen Wilson. So here you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. You're right. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Here's a kid not getting what he wants.
Well, what do you think? You need these clothes so badly. Hey, I think they're going to be okay. We'll just have to take them up just a couple of inches. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Dude, you know what the matter is.
You gave me the crappiest present ever, and you put it in a box the size of a good guy's box.
Yeah. You led that kid along.
Suck.
It's terrible.
There's something about the delivery, like the capture of the voice there, that made me feel suddenly like this is a 1960s movie.
They ADR'd the hell out of this movie. There was tons of it. And there would be times where they would go back and forth where Officer Big Lips would go, we're going to go do a thing. And then it would be like, okay, and now I'm getting in my car. I'm like, whoa, your voice changed.
That big.
I don't exactly. I don't either. Yeah.
They're kind of.
But I love that Scott has really hung up because now I got to go back and see because
Go
I
check
wasn't
him out.
getting
Go check him
I
out.
believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Look at him now. He's
I think
he's kind of
he has-
cool looking
He has
now.
a lot of. He's got like he has kind of like a bulbous nose. He's kind of got like just and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. He's just got.
Oh, I'm not
features
making
that are
fun.
striking.
By the way, did we ever figure out any relation to Susan Sarandon?
And we
Oh,
talked, and we talked about it.
did we?
Did we
I
on
feel
when
like we
we?
talked about it on a recent episode.
Oh,
of
I
Film
don't
Sack.
it was,
remember
it was
this.
Bull Durham. We talked all about Sarandon. Oh, they were married. Okay.
Oh, is that where she got her name?
Nope. It was just coincidental that two Sarandons married.
That's too creepy.
That
I
seems
could not ever marry
insane.
somebody who has the same last name as me.
That
I just
seems
couldn't.
crazy. If not, now look, if your last name's Johnson or Jackson,
kidding.
okay.
I'm
Oh,
kidding.
damn, you were sending us down a road, man. I was
I was
doing
doing that
so
as
sucky.
deadpan as possible
it
to
worked.
see.
It worked.
A little too deadpan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little too much pan, not enough dead.
A little-
Should-
yeah.
Her real
That
name
pan
Susan
was
Abigail Tamalin. She married Chris Sarandon
Tamale.
and Tamalin.
So she did take his name.
Mullen.
She did take his name and kept it. She took it and kept it.
Wow.
Yeah, she kept it through like 2 more marriages after that one.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did not know that at all. All right. This guy,
I'm pretty sure we talked about it during Bull Durham.
Did we?
Sure.
Okay.
Pretty sure I wasn't paying attention.
I don't remember. Well, I don't remember the Chris Sarandon part.
I didn't either. But
I know we talked about her and her name, but I don't remember the Chris Sarandon bit. He is also, by the way, hold on. He's known. Oh, they only have his known for as The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's kind of a bummer. He does a lot more stuff than that.
Oh, really? Not even Princess Bride?
Yeah, that surprised me.
That's.
I mean, that's IMDb. I don't know who does this stuff.
You just saw him in Dog Day Afternoon too.
Yeah, he's good in that. He's a good actor, and you know what? His lips are fine.
He's all right.
His lips are fine.
I didn't say
you've turned around on his
bad.
lips.
You just said they were.
They're just big.
I was so big. You turned around on them.
I would gently kiss them. All right. I would kiss them gently into the night. All right. Here, good guy or not good guy is the name of this clip.
Well, is it a good guy or not?
It is.
There's some ADR going on
No,
there.
it is.
It is.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited because it is.
I can't believe it's at the back, just right behind the house, this place where I work.
She was very excited.
Whatever.
This person works in shoes.
Miss Peterson, you work in shoes, not in jewelry.
Oh, yeah, that guy was a pud. He was a turd monkey.
You know, we really got way too much how retail stores worked in their late 80s in this film. I really didn't. They really could have got out of there.
But it really, you can't just tell your employee that they have to stay late when they've got to go deal with their kid and not even give them a choice. No way.
I guess you can, I suppose.
I mean, you can.
Threaten their job. Jeez.
Shouldn't.
This feels like this was somebody who had a bad time in retail. That's what it sounds like to me.
Does anyone have a good time in retail?
Maybe I did. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I'm trying to think if I ever had a good time in retail. I don't think I did. It was always
I did. I love my retail jobs. Well, I loved the people. I love the people.
But you're a people lover, so that works.
Yeah.
This feels like the time for me to bring up that this is our 4th time sacking a movie that starred Juan Ramirez, who played the peddler.
Yeah.
4th?
Wow.
I want you to
person?
hear his character names on previous film sacks because it is just amazing to me that this guy only ever plays this. So again, he was peddler in Child's Play. In Above the Law, his cast name was Machete Man.
Oh.
In Adventures in Babysitting, he was Chicano Leader.
Yeah.
And in The Fugitive, he was Man on the L.
Man on the L train.
Man on the L.
Wait, he's the one.
My man on the L.
Wasn't there a big fight on the L train in that movie? What happened? I don't remember now. Speaking of Chicago.
Think about the Warriors.
Hold on. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Warriors. My memory is wrong. It is all wrong. I will no longer probe it.
It's fine.
Juan Ramirez, film sack superstar.
Indeed. Let's do the hottest date in months.
It'll be the hottest date I've had in months.
I can't imagine why.
I'm a real dick. I hope I die in this movie. Nope, I'm never seen again.
The 80s had a lot of, hey, we got old phones that ring real loud and they'll jump scare you. So here's one.
God.
Hello?
Yeah.
That was it. That was a real thing, though.
That was a good
big old
scare.
yeah, those big old phones, they would scare the crap out of you because everything's quiet. We didn't get phone calls a lot back then, I don't think. Because I don't remember getting a lot of. You really got your attention when the phone rang.
You could tape some cotton balls together, and then you could take the bottom plate off that phone and stick it between the ringer and the bell itself.
Right.
And then you could get a phone call from your friend late at night and your parents wouldn't know.
I've never heard of that trick. That's a great trick.
Interesting.
And it worked? It sufficiently muffled it?
Oh, yeah. It would make the phone go.
Yeah, it would
like
click because there
Oh,
would be no resonance to the metal piece that it was.
No way.
Striking. I remember there used to be like a little knob that you could move up and down that would take it from a 10 on the volume scale to maybe an 8.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Ours had that.
Ineffective.
Yeah, they weren't dial phones though. I think they were probably push button. But yeah, I remember having that too, and I remember it making so little difference.
Yeah.
Like what a weird feature.
I remember being a kid and messing around with the rotary phone so much that the operator came on and scared the shit out of me.
Really?
Did you stop playing with the phone?
Really?
Oh my god!
Like an actual operator?
Boy,
Weird.
Actual operator. This is my grandma's house during the 70s. And I remember I was just like, I was messing around, just like, playing with the little things. And oh boy, she was mad at me.
That's
she told me, who is this? And I was like, ooh.
As much as I talked to operators when I was a little kid, like just pick up the phone and try to talk to a person. As much as I did that, I can only imagine what their job was like.
Oh,
it must have just been nonstop talking to children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Must have been.
Right.
Like what was oh God, what was see, I can't relate with the Andy Griffith show. I can't relate to Mayberry era operator. One of the actresses was the operator in there, and she was always
one of Andy's girlfriends, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. She was always part of the conversation. She was the central hub of that place. Very hands-on.
You make me want to go back in time though and try this cotton ball thing. I want to try it.
Yeah.
I don't have a phone that would do that now.
I can't remember. I don't think it was the rotary phones, but I think the push button phones, you could take the mouthpiece out and it wouldn't be wired in. It would just be sitting
It just sits
on the thing. You could just, and you could take it out and then you could listen in on somebody else without them knowing you're,
really? So instead of putting your hand over the mouthpiece and making
that's dumb. People definitely can hear that.
Yeah, but the biggest problem with picking up and listening, and they never talk about this in movies, is you actually are pushing power through your copper. That's how you're getting. I mean, it's a form of energy that's coming to you, and when it's kind of like showering and flushing the toilet. When you got another water source pulling, you're going to get a drop in pressure, and that would always happen to me. So if I was trying to sneak a listen, I would pick it up, and it wasn't that they heard me; it's that they could tell the volume went down on their end. Because
you gotta do it when they're making the phone call, Scott.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that's smart. That's a good point.
Because they're making the noises; they don't hear anything.
Didn't we just see this? Men on Fire. They had all kinds of people picking up phones and they was calling in, checking on trying to find out where the kid was and all that. Anyway,
I love analog telephone discourse so much, guys.
That's great, right? We could go on for days.
So do our young listeners.
Yeah.
Like, what is this talk, grandpas?
Yeah. Let's now move back to the future and talk about the Alone at Night willies that I could not get out of my mouth this morning for my intro. Here you go.
I just had a bit of the Alone at Night willies.
See, she did it easily.
The Alone at Night willies.
I don't know. You never want to know. Don't ask who Willie is. 5 times. Don't do it. Spirited lady. Oh yeah.
A spirited lady. No kidding.
A spirited lady.
Boy, that was offensive, right?
Yeah.
That guy with his weird mustache, the dude at the end, the partner who just didn't believe it until it was too late. He annoyed me. I don't like him. It's like somebody's brother got asked to come in and sit.
The partner who immediately goes and touches the Chucky doll as soon as you tell him not to touch the Chucky doll.
Yes. Yeah. What's this do? What do you do here? He's talking to me is this title. Whoops.
His real name is Charles Lee Ray, and he's been sent down from heaven by Daddy to play with me.
Bad kid actors.
I had a hard time not laughing at that part. It was supposed to be super sad and stuff.
Oh yeah, well how about this one, because this is the one I laughed at.
He said that Maggie was a real bitch and got what she deserved.
That too.
I had to make that poor kid say that. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, Ibbot, I have a prom clip here.
Oh, good.
This is you to your date when you had to go to the bathroom. You just had to go take care of business. All right, you had to pee. Sure. Everybody has to pee. We have kidneys.
Happens to everybody. Exactly. Yes.
It's normal human behavior. And here's what you said. This is to your prom date.
You stay here. I have to go tinkle.
That's very nice, respectful.
The first grade prom was a big deal,
right? Huge, big deal.
It was. I didn't want to wet my pants like I did at homecoming.
No, right? No one will forget that night. Say something, damn it!
Say something, damn it!
Oh, she's got all pissed.
Yeah.
She's talking to Spock about his ears.
Just changed the delivery in the middle of the line.
I know she did, right? Listen to that.
Say something, damn it!
Yeah, 2 levels.
Damn it.
2 levels.
The Gregory brothers could turn that into a great song right there.
Oh, yes, hell sure. Yeah. The big moment.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Now, I have to admit, that's me at the first part. I was watching this, and I didn't know my mic was on, and I went,
Hi, I'm Chucky.
It's scary. I actually had a jump scare there.
Really?
That's really funny.
Yeah, it actually got me. So, anyway, thanks, movie. No batteries in him.
He's been moving and talking for days without any batteries in him.
Yeah, just these shitty NiCads.
No batteries.
No batteries. That's probably good. They won't leak. Those NiCads in the 80s sucked. Those C batteries.
Oh
was
yeah,
the worst.
especially the ones that came with products. Those lasted a month.
They
If
were terrible.
Lasted a day.
If you were lucky, and it didn't matter if you refrigerated them, they leaked.
Yeah.
Your mama's like, I can't have this in my house. It
Some
was a whole
weird
thing.
ass brand. Yeah.
Yeah, batteries sucked then, man. They're not great now, but they sucked then.
Yeah.
Abomination.
You're an abomination. An outrage against nature.
Okay, Voodoo Pete.
I have feelings.
The trope of the name you should have thought about, Dr. Death.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's I'm having a hard time thinking of like a worse example of that trope. Like, I guess Darth Maul is a pretty good example of the trope where you're like, hey, why'd you keep that name?
I love the name. Darth Maul's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, and I hate the prequels.
Oh, yeah. And they killed him right away. It's like, hey, look, got a great character.
Yeah, they brought him back though.
You got to watch some.
Was it Rebels or
that's
Rebels,
some retcon and bullshit
Clone Wars.
there.
well, he's got the robot legs now. He's fine. He's fine.
He's just cut in half.
Didn't he show up in Mandalorian for a hot second?
Does he come in like Chucky?
Referenced in Mandalore, or no, showed up in a
Like a
on a
hologram.
Yeah, hologram. Yeah,
And it was actually Ray Park again, the actor, I think, who played him.
I
originally.
like the idea what Ibit proposed that he came back cut in half. Is that what you said? This
He came back. He fell through a mile of
halves.
shit and came through two halves on the other side.
and he goes, but is a flesh wound, right? And yeah, it's great.
But is a flesh wound.
that is a flash.
Right.
Instead of tis but one, but is
Yeah,
one.
just, but it's small talk.
I got it.
Small
No,
talk.
mall talk. I get it.
Yeah.
It is a flesh wound.
Yeah,
yes.
but is a flesh wound. All right, here's a great yell from Chucky, kind of what Randy was talking about earlier. Here you go. I think he was in the fire. Oh no, I got is it face? I don't remember. Whatever. He yelled.
He didn't care
Okay,
for it.
but now I have a part where I couldn't decipher it. You guys tell me what he yelled here. All right. I did not have subtitles on, so you're gonna have to tell me. Here we go. Hairspray.
Aspray.
Aspray. Any idea?
When is he doing this?
It's after getting his shit. When did this happen? This would have been before. This is when they're fighting in the house,
Yeah.
and then the partner's there. It's before he got blown up and melted, I think.
Okay.
But I don't remember what he was doing, and he just yelled.
It sounds like best friend, but that doesn't make sense.
Hairspray.
But I don't know when he's arguing with him with Andy. Maybe is that after Andy says, "Screw this, you're not my friend."
Here, think best
maybe.
friend, and now listen to it.
Oh, you
Because
might.
that is a good guy's line, a phrase.
Phrase.
Yeah,
Right.
fair point. Okay, I think he actually might
Does
be
he
on
say
it.
best friends till the end or something like that, and we just didn't hear the rest.
No,
of it, maybe?
it was cut off like that. Like he stopped talking there, so I don't know. It's weird. This is the end, friend.
This is the end, friend.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's my favorite Doors cover, sung by a child in any movie we've seen.
This is the end. Okay, we got one more Ibit clip. This is when your date got a little handsy, okay? And so
Oh.
this is where this went.
Don't touch it. Do you understand me? Don't you touch one part.
Okay, don't.
Oh,
Not even one pot.
Yeah,
No.
don't touch your wiener.
What'd I say?
well, that was back when I was 8. So
Oh, wow.
then-
You had a deep voice for that.
I did. Well, it's, after I peed, it lowered.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Here's a dying Chucky.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Yeah, it's a real dark ending there.
Good and creepy. I like it.
Yeah, it was all right. Discordant, Nothing wrong with that. Now this. It's the Film Sack checklist. This is set in a universe where all children can bring their life-size talking dolls to school. Check.
Yeah,
I
and
noticed.
not get beat up.
Do you notice there were
Whatever.
like three other kids? All three other kids ran through that door with the Chucky doll. It was like, what is going
and one
on?
kid obviously too old for it. He's definitely getting a beating.
Dude, my teachers would take my Star Wars figures and put them in her desk. There's no way they're letting you have a big old doll in there.
Right? No way, man.
Lame.
No way.
Don't touch my battery hole. Check. And finally, best thing you can do is to let a flaming dog climb on your cloth 80s couch. Check.
Get off it.
Star Trek Connections. I would say that Randy probably has some. We got
three.
Three.
Oh,
Whoa.
three.
That's pretty good.
So you mentioned Catherine Hicks.
Yeah.
Karen in this movie. She was obviously in The Voyage Home, Star Trek 4.
Yep.
Let's mention Christopher Sarandon was in the Deep Space Nine episode Rivals.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
I said episode just now.
You did
and
say
I don't
episode.
Like it.
I like it.
Episode.
I don't like it. We gotta. Any chance we get to talk about Brad Dourif and Voyager, we have to. Brad Dourif, our voice of Chucky here. He was in 3 episodes of Voyager as my opinion, the most interesting character arc that they ever had on that show. He played crewman Lon Suter, a terribly broken man with anger management issues, like ridiculous anger management issues. A Betazoid who was in the Maquis and had no business being on this ship that was lost in space. And his 3 episodes were called Meld, Basics Part 1, which was the end of one season, and then Basics Part 2, the beginning of the next season, where he sacrifices himself to save the ship. And he is awesome.
No ship.
Yeah. I have memory of that, but I need to go back and revisit it.
By the way, Brian Dunaway, guess where Brad Dourif grew up?
In Atlantis.
Aiken, South Carolina.
Oh,
nice.
You ever been to Aiken before?
Nice.
You ever been down there?
Absolutely. Aiken is a mere 30 minutes away south of me, I believe. So yeah, I've been to Aiken many times. Dated a girl once from Aiken. Kind of look like Brad. Now I'm kind of.
He got his start in Milos Forman's
Cuckoo's Nest.
Jack Nicholson film. What is it? One flew over the cuckoo's nest. Next.
Oh,
next.
Oh, really?
I can't say anything.
That's
one flew.
That's him right there, by the way.
One flew double the kookaburra.
That's him in. That's that one I just put in there. That's him in that movie right there in your Discord. Yeah, he's great in that.
It's such a great
that movie holds the hell up, man. Yeah. Amazing how well it holds up. It's so old. It should. Yeah. It shouldn't.
And
but Milos Forman.
There's Brad Dourif's first film, and he's with what's her name, Louise Fletcher, who's going to be in Deep Space Nine later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is he married to anybody we know, like a famous dude? I forgot about. Sorry, I forgot about him in the Alien 4 movie we saw. He was great in that. What a creep show! Remember him? Where he's like the weird doctor that was getting
Oh yes, right. Who loves the alien and
yeah, and he
admires it and
he got killed in a super nasty way.
We also saw him in Eyes of Laura Mars. He was in the original Dune. He was a creepy.
I remember that.
That just goes without saying.
Yeah, he's
you can just leave creepy out, and we'll always assign it.
Right.
Oh,
married twice, but not married to anybody since 1986. Divorced his second wife in 1986 and never remarried.
I think he just creeped people out, and he's just like, nobody.
Greenma's going his own way, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, he played Peter DeVries.
Yeah, that was the Dune character.
That's the Dune character. Okay. Oh, with this hair and these eyebrows. Amazing. All right.
With these hair and these eyebrows.
What were they thinking? Look at that. That's so dumb.
Yeah. I remember that.
Fiona, so he's got a daughter, Fiona Dourif, and she was in...
when was she born?
She's in Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, she's The Blacklist, Shameless, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
Oh, she's cute.
The one Nicole loves.
Yeah.
She's adorable.
She is.
How is that his sperm? That's crazy. What do you gonna next thing you're gonna tell me Buscemi's got like a model for a daughter or something like that? Like this is crazy.
Might be.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
And familiar. I've seen her in some of this.
Something, yeah. But easily, I mean, I
you're-
must have
maybe
seen her
you're
in
getting-
Shameless.
Maybe getting
'cause,
Dorf. Maybe getting Brad vibes.
I'm getting Brad vibes. Is that what's going on? I'm just thinking of all the Dora
Yeah,
things.
it's like she looks real familiar. Uh-oh.
It's like, wait, wasn't this girl in Deadwood? I think she was in
Right.
Deadwood.
Right.
She played the doctor. All right. Nicely done, Randy. Good collection there this week. Soundtrack grade, I'd give it an S for synthy. It's a little synthy. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 80s. It's what we did, but it's a little synthy.
Yeah, it's its own time. Like you could have just plucked music from any scary movie from like 83 to 98.
Yeah. That's the range, isn't it? That's totally right. All right, let's get to the social post. This is where in 200 characters or less, you guys sum this damned thing up. Let's start with Randy.
Child's Play. All I want is one special gift, a little person all my own, a doll I can put down or lift and take, who will stay as still as stone. That last bit, that's the important part. I need my buddy to stay still and never ever talk or fart or, God forbid, to ever kill. How could a doll even do harm without muscles or bones himself? But look, here's proof on my forearm. Right where? Right. It looks like I bit myself. Damn it.
I was going to say, in the movie, I was like, that's not great proof. It just looks like you did it to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not
the
proof
right
of
place you
anything.
can reach.
Yeah. All right. Let's go now with Brian Dunaway, please.
Child's Play. I'm starting to think this good guy doll is actually kind of bad. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hashtag penis.
Hashtag
Nice.
driver's side under the seat crotch stab.
That knife was cracking me up, and the way he was having to dance around to stay on the wheel. And sit up.
At first it was pretty good how they were shooting it, and then they got halfway through the effect, and they just started stabbing some chair that had no innards whatsoever. It was just some kind of cotton.
It got a little
pillow.
cheap at the end there for sure.
Yeah.
Finally, Brian Ibbett.
Child's Play. Some plots sold separately.
Oh, snap.
Sometimes you want to use as few characters as possible.
I don't need any more
better
characters than that to
Yep.
say how I feel about this film.
Pretty strong. All right, now this I have in my hand. These titles. It was almost called "Rather Be the Chucker Than the Chucky," or because I don't think it's much of a horror movie, "Mild Play." See what I did?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't go with it.
Mean.
About right.
I'm going to play a voicemail today. This came to 801-471-0462. This is all about a movie we haven't seen yet, and this person really thinks we should, so take it away.
Hey, guys. I know we're long overdue for The Burbs. We're long overdue for The Never-Ending Story, and which is the last one you guys did to fulfill my criteria wish list. But for next Halloween, you guys have got to do Night of the Lepus. Is that how you say it? Lepus or lupus? Not lepus. It's giant bunnies, and they look like giant bunnies. It's just giant bunnies. That's the only reason to do it. I don't care how bad it is or how great it is. It's just, you got to do it. It's giant bunnies. Maybe do it on Easter. I don't know. But it's so, they didn't even do anything. They didn't try. Oh, well. Now I'm sure you guys will get an amazing show out of it. Keep your sacks full. Later.
I like this like call in the middle of the night when you're as much weed as possible, and
Vacillates between High Plains Drifter and I'm just waking up and need to hit that pipe.
Yeah. I need to hear some like cowboy poetry from this guy or something.
I really want to appreciate this. Like in the future, if you want your call to get played on Film Sack, take an edible about 30 minutes prior.
Yeah.
Every time.
30, 40. Yeah, you'll be good to go. And also I'd love to do Night of the Lepus. I don't know why we haven't done that. That seems
I just added to the watch list.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah.
We already had the Burbs on our watch list.
We did the Burbs.
We didn't do it. They're just on the list. We just haven't watched it. Yeah. I wish we need to. It's one of your favorites, Dunaway. That's probably why I think
I don't know why we haven't. Why I've watched it recently. I don't know why I thought it was for Film Sack.
I think it comes off streaming
It's
quickly
not-
or something, right?
It's recommendal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on streaming right now for me.
Yeah, it's not on Just Watch for me either.
We'll catch it eventually. Anything that has Tom Hanks being a goofball, we'll catch it.
Yeah, we like those. Those are great. Moving on to this.
Then we're definitely going to watch Turner and Hooch. Fine.
Yeah, Turner and Hooch is happening. I promise you that. We're moving on now to this text we got to that self-same number. This is from Adam B. He says, hey, the sack pack. Just trying it on for size, he says. I've checked. Let's see. I've checked, and you have never done a Guy Ritchie movie. I think one of them would be great, but Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels would be my choice. Just hearing a song that Ibbott comes up with for, or the three thing. What? Comes up with the three thing.
Randy's three.
Got it. To remember when committing and English Crime by Randy would be great. Keep it up. Been with you since episode 1, Adam B. Yeah, dude. I don't know why we haven't done a Guy Ritchie movie either. It seems weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the one that I've been tracking forever is the 2009 Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, that'd be fine. I do that.
I personally haven't wanted to do one of the movies where the point of it is that you don't understand what people are saying. I just didn't. I don't know. I might be convincible on this point. Like maybe it's okay, but I don't know. I imagine an episode of Film Sack where all we talk about is, well, I didn't understand this. I didn't understand.
Well, that's funny you say that because I feel like the only movie of his that I've never I have no problem with the British stuff, like the really Cockney accents and stuff, and two barrels and all that. But when it came to what's the one with Brad Pitt? Snatch. Mm-hmm. The only person in there I never knew what they were saying was him, and I think that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? We're supposed to not understand Brad Pitt, but everybody else was fine for me. So I wouldn't bother me. I think it's more of like which one is worthy of the Guy Ritchie-ness, you know? Like what's the most Guy Ritchie thing we could watch? And I don't know what that is. It's probably Lock, Stock is my guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that movie, but I'd watch it. I'd watch that here. That'd be no problem.
Too. And I thought of a good one for, we were talking earlier about Nick Nolte. Cape Fear would probably be a great one for.
Have we not?
Didn't we do Cape Fear?
Have we done Cape Fear?
Hold on.
Probably have that. If two of you are thinking that we did. Okay.
Yep, we did. It was 2017 Film Sack 321.
Our first and only Scorsese movie, I think. Right?
Oh,
maybe. Yeah, I was just naming Scorsese films in the Discord yesterday, and that was one of them. I don't think. Yeah, I think it's the only one.
Yeah, 321 January 2017.
Yeah, the only one.
I remember that mainly for us anyway, is there was something that was said on it that cracked me up so hard, and I thought about it for weeks. And for whatever reason, it's always in my head that yes, we've done Cape Fear, but I don't remember the joke. It was something Brandy said, or I can't remember what it was. Something was funny as shit in that movie, but I've forgotten it. So I don't even know why I brought it up.
At one point in our Film Sack history, I very quietly I talked to us kind of out of Goodfellas, and I think we could sack it.
I'd have no problem doing it. I love that movie. I'll watch it 8 more times if you ask me to. So let's do it.
Yeah,
I'll do Goodfellas. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's one of, but you understand what I'm saying? Like it's one of those where I'm like, I would absolutely sack The Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know that we need to.
Oh yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. That one might be. I'm trying to remember if I even. That one just pissed me off.
Didn't we do?
Oh really?
Yeah, because it just paints this picture of the worst of corporate greed and stuff. I just hate it. It's not a bad film by any stretch. It's Scorsese makes nothing but good films, and we get Margot Robbie for the first time, and there's a lot to like about it. I think DiCaprio's really good. Like everybody's good. It's just I don't know. I hate corporate greed stuff. Snorting coke out of people's buttholes because you can't find any more thrills. It's just like lot of
We've had Shutter Island on the watch list for a while, just because at one point one of us said, "Hey, how does that hold up?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's going on the watch list then." I still haven't seen it.
I've only seen. There's only 2 Scorsese movies I've never seen. That and Last Temptation of Christ, the only 2 I haven't seen. So I wouldn't mind seeing one of those.
Yeah, Shutter Island for sure. Let's not sack Last Temptation, please.
Okay.
No,
you don't want to see Jesus, Willem Dafoe, Jesus.
Defoe, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
When was Caviezel? Wasn't Jim Caviezel Jesus in something?
Yeah, he's in the Mel Gibson one.
Passion of the Christ. That's it.
Yeah, that apparently messed up his brain. He's weird now. All right, excellent. Well, we'll see what we can do about that, Adam B. Thank you so much for the recommendation. And also, Night of the Lepus, I do think is a must, so we're going to have to get around to that.
Yep.
Keep those texts coming and voicemails 801-471-0462. You can email us as well at filmsack@gmail.com. You can also join us on our Patreon, which is a wonderful place for great people like Josh Schneider, Colin Nelson, Brandon Eschwick. These are just 3 of our fantastic patrons. And they know what they like because they get no commercials ever. They get pre-show content every week, monthly special bonus episodes from the hosts, most recently Randy. I think my month's next month.
Randy.
Is it? I think so.
November is Scott, December is me.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Then January is me.
That's right. You get art in the mail. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. Go check it out. That's patreon.com/filmsack and support us today. Support us.
Right.
Sportus.
Next week, we are finally, after all these years of Film Sack, doing The Exorcist. We are ending Sacktober with The freaking Exorcist. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
It's a little heavy.
14, and it's
Can't
also
wait.
our 14th anniversary, 14 years of doing Film Sack. It's going to be episode 625, I think. That's a nice round number.
Yeah. And it's like one of these movies. I know there's at least 3 of us here who need to deal with some childhood trauma here with this movie.
For sure.
Yes.
So we're going to do that. And it's worked for me on Film Sack a number of times. Stuff I saw as a kid that freaked me out. We'd see it here and I go, that was dumb. Why was I so freaking freaked out about that?
In addition to the Film Sack anniversary, it's the 50th anniversary of the film.
Look at us.
1973.
Look at us.
Wow.
Whoa, we didn't even plan that.
No, good timing to pick the watch.
I guess that's why they did the new one this year.
Years old.
December 26, 1973. So it was a Christmas film. Released as a Christmas film.
They put it out on
an
Christmas.
ARP card.
That's crazy.
right?
Boxing Day, technically, but yeah.
So isn't the girl in the new one? She's old now, obviously, but
Reagan.
She's old now, you think?
Linda Blair.
Linda, is it who? Somebody is in the new one that they made that's not reviewing well.
Oh no, it's the mom. It's Anne Bank. No, who's the mom? Ellen Burstyn. Is in the new one.
Okay.
Yes. Talking about, because I think she talks about in the trailer she talks about Reagan's death or something.
Okay.
Yeah, Tina has said we are not watching that, so it might be a hard sell to have her watch The Exorcist with me. We'll see how it goes.
I just saw Ellen Burstyn in Interstellar. I forgot she was in that. She plays old version of his daughter, I think. Is that her?
Oh, really?
Hold
wow.
on. I might be losing my mind. 2014 was that movie. Is it in here? I might have this wrong. Oh no, it was Interstellar. She plays old Murph. When he comes after he comes back from all the time slippage stuff, and his daughter's old then, and that's who that is. Wild. All right. All my worlds are colliding. The Exorcist next week. Everybody get some fake pea soup in your mouth. Get ready to throw that all over the place.
Spin your head around.
Yeah. Maybe don't bring a cross. Handheld one.
I'm going to watch that Leslie Nielsen spoof of it instead.
Dead and loving it.
I love that this one's really getting under Dunaway's skin. As a horror fan, you're like this huge horror fan, and you're like, I don't know.
Love horror.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Horror. I love the horror. That's next week, right here at FilmSack. FilmSack.com is our weeb site.
Our weeb on our website.
What's wrong with me?
Worldwide weebs.
It's our worldwide weeb site. FilmSack.com. That's where it's at. Patreon.com/FilmSack. And leave us reviews wherever you get your shows. That would be wonderful. It helps us a lot in the rankings, gets us discovered, all that kind of fun stuff. That is going to do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
Want to play?
We'll see you next time.
Get more at frogpants.com.
He's been moving and talking for days without any batteries in him.